Hello. Okay. What do we have here? Okay. Greetings, one and all, and welcome once again to Tom's Hit Parade Live. I hope you all are doing well. Yeah, today is going to be kind of an informal-ish video. I know it's my state of the channel 2022, but hopefully that's not too much of a letdown because honestly, I don't have a whole lot in that regard to talk about. But plus, I mean, hey, I gave you 2 videos last week, pretty intensive, my year-end lists, all that stuff. So hey, I deserve to go easy on myself this weekend. Am I right? But anyway, I hope you guys are doing well today. I say that every week, but I mean it every week. And yeah, I'm doing well. Got a kind of a fun thing or two to show you after my state of the channel thing, which again won't take very long. Don't expect this video to last the entire hour. Let me put it that way. But yeah, this is the second time I've done my state of the channel as a live stream. Did it last year as well. But yes, this is where I just talk about, where my channel has been over the last year, where it may or may not be going in the year that's just started, and all that stuff. So anyway, yes, the past year on my channel, my favorite videos of 2021 were unquestionably my Oklahoma vacay vlog and crawl and haul videos. Not only were they a lot of fun to film along the way, but they were a lot of fun to edit. And I just think I'm very proud of the finished product, how it turned out, the flow and all that fun stuff. And I confess that I have rewatched them once or twice myself, just so that I can relive the ridiculous amount of fun I had on that trip. And I also started talking about cassettes again in my channel this year, after happening into a free cassette deck last November of 2020. Yeah, 2020. And being given a family friend's old tape collection in February of this past year, that rekindled my long dormant appreciation of that previously hated and reviled format. I thought I hated it, but I don't. It turns out I just was never playing cassettes on a device or a system that truly brought forth their charms and the sound that they can produce. It's never going to be my chief format of choice. It's always going to be more of a nostalgia or novelty, I guess is probably too loose a word, but yeah. Hey, if I see a good deal on a cassette, or especially a free cassette of an album that I like, I'm going to go ahead and get it. My Reconsidering a Cassette essay video is another one from last year that I'm particularly proud of. It explains my relationship with the format as well as my listening history as a whole. I recommend checking out that video if you want to know more about my history of listening to music and all that stuff, how I listened to music in the past, how I listen to it now. It was a lot of fun to write the essay and also to film and record it. Then, of course, came the big shakeup. My camera broke in, I believe this was September, so I had to switch formats abruptly and without warning, how I do my videos, from pre-recorded and edited videos to live streams. Frankly, I think it was the shakeup I needed on my channel. Not only was the filming and editing grind really wearing me down, I was getting less and less enthusiasm for doing videos, just because it frankly felt a little bit intimidating when I sat down over in my corner to film my videos, not just because of what I had to shoot that day, but because of the work that was ahead of me. And also at the same time, that when I went back to work at the office full time, so I would have had less time and energy for editing anyway. So the timing couldn't have been better. It's not the ideal thing that would have happened, but hey, maybe it's for the better overall. So my videos are not as crisp and fast moving as they used to be now, but to me, that's a fair price to pay for not having to worry about editing anymore. Besides, I kind of like the slower and more natural flow of my live streams, the tripping over my words every once in a while, the awkward silences. That's what makes us all human, isn't it? When you think about it, there's something. Blah, blah. Case in point, there's something to be said for that, especially when everything else in today's world is so fast-paced. And I also finally conquered my favorite albums list of the 2000s, which I had in the works for most of that year. It was a bit challenging in the live stream setting, but a lot of the mental pressure was off of my shoulders, knowing I didn't have a marathon of editing session in front of me. And I hope that came across in my demeanor and how I carried myself in that video. Even though I do miss having the visual touches like the number overlays in the corner and whatnot. So yeah, it's a trade-off, but I think it's a trade-off that was worth it. So that was my year in my previous year. What can my viewers expect from this channel in the coming year? The short answer is I'm not sure. I hope it doesn't sound like a cop-out or a bait and switch, since that's what I made the title of this video, but I'm going to be real with you guys. My enthusiasm overall for this channel has diminished in the last month or so. I'm not sure if it's just the fact that I'm still getting over the usual year-end burnout with, having to take on those big lists and all that stuff. But hopefully my energy will rebound soon. But most importantly, I'm not going anywhere. So if I have anything to say about it, I'm not just shutting down the channel. You'll still get at least 2 videos a month out of me. That's my pledge, at least 2 videos every month. I am hoping to start my Trekkies channel, which is focused on Star Trek and other geek stuff. Not necessarily limited to TV and movies, by the way. And I've promised to start that for 2 years now. That's why I'm hesitating to make to state any goals or plans or anything like that for this year. But I don't want to risk burning out on YouTube altogether by not being ready to take on 2 channels. That's my main fear, and the reason I haven't started it yet is, am I ready to take on 2 channels at the same time? So I just need to take a little time. I think my channel is going to be a little bit quieter than usual for January and probably February as well. And part of my goal is to take some of that time to think it over, plan as much as I can plan, see if I'm truly ready to take on that second channel and finally launch that starship out of space dock, as it were. Anyway, I see this channel as a very organic kind of a thing. It evolves how it's going to evolve in a way that feels natural and right for me. After all, this is just a hobby, and I'm not looking to make it any kind of an income source. If I tried to do that, it would become work, and a lot of the fun would be taken out of it. So I try not to make any concrete plans or goals, as I mentioned a second ago, because the more of those that I make, the more chances I'll have for setting myself up for failure or disappointment. Since switching to live streams, I have unintentionally forgotten about some of the recurring things I'd like to keep going. Playlist, album diaries, rescue records, maybe. So I hope to revive most, if not all of those in 2022. And that is one of my New Year's resolutions, by the way, is to finally try and knock down some of the listening backlog that I have. And that's one good thing about having a playlist video every month is I can hopefully make those videos nice and packed with a list of stuff that I've finally gotten around to listening to. I am, at least temporarily, working more from home now. It's partly due to the COVID surge, but partly for another reason. So I am going to have more time over at least these next few weeks to listen to a lot of stuff at home. So fingers crossed that I'm going to knock down a big chunk of this listening backlog. Now, of course, Bargain Bag and my quarterly Spankin' Platters features will almost certainly continue to be mainstays on my channel. I'm on the cusp of 190 subscribers right now, and it's taken me 4 years to get there. But as I've said, although I love having subscribers and views, it's not why I have this channel. And another reason for my slow growth is because I kind of suck at self-promotion. I've mentioned this before. I wanted to, and I intended to, put up a Twitter and Instagram post announcing this video because I knew I was going to do it at 3 o'clock today. And I didn't because I suck at self-promotion. So yes, that's probably, as I said, a big reason why my subs count has been very slow growing. But since I'm close to 200 subs, I am thinking of having my very first subscriber milestone contest. So as soon as I decide the details on that, that'll be another thing to think about in my next 6 weeks or so of quiet-ish time. You'll be the first to know about the details on that, so be on the lookout for that announcement. And one thing I do intend to bring you is another Albums of the Decade list this year. Since I did the 2010s a couple of years ago and the 2000s last year, the next step in that progression would be the 1990s. It's possible possible is the key word here, that I might be brave enough to tackle both the 90s and the 80s lists in the same year, but don't hold your breath on that. So, yeah, I mean, that's really all that I had to talk about with regard to the state of my channel. If you guys have any thoughts or questions or anything like that, and yes, that's another thing why I suck at self-promotion. I had intended um, to let everybody know about that this video was coming, and to give me questions and stuff that I could maybe answer live, or to if I told everybody when this video was going to be, they could be on live now and giving me questions. But you know the drill. I suck at self-promotion, so I wasn't able to do that. But yeah, so I also wanted to take a moment before I get into the other thing that I want to talk about, another mini haul slash item find, kind of sort of related to music. Well, it really is, but I'll explain myself in a second here. Hang on. Another thing I wanted to talk about before I head into that is some of the channels that I found this year. I actually only really found 2 channels that I've subscribed to and watch pretty regularly. At least I'm pretty sure I found both of these channels within 2021. Correct me if I'm wrong, but K-Man Reviews, Keegan, my man over at K-Man Reviews, if you have not subscribed to his channel or checked it out, it is a great channel. The guy is just a natural at reviewing albums. Just his flow and his presentation is great. He reads notes like a champ, and yeah, he'd be a good public speaker, honestly. So yes, and yeah, check him out. He's just got a great channel. And another man, Andres Salazar, I believe is his name. His channel is called The Outgroove, and he's got kind of a fast and loose, kind of an easygoing kind of style, kind of like me. He's doesn't try to make it all professional and buttoned up, and that's what I kind of like. That's his charm, I think, in his channel. And he does pretty good at reviewing albums as well, and other miscellaneous music talk and such. But yeah, check out his channel, The Outgroove, all one word. Check it out. And I'll put both of those links to both of those channels will be in my description when I put the bookmarks in sometime tomorrow. You'll find those links in my updated description as well. So yeah, good channels, and I also want to take this moment to thank all of my subscribers and my regular viewers. By the way, if you are a regular, consistent viewer of my channel, one that I may not know about, drop me a comment in this video and let me know that you're out there. I get anywhere between 20 and 40 videos or views on each video at the very least, and I only know a few of those people that I know watch my videos. So if you are a regular, faithful, consistent watcher, drop me a comment and let me know. And I really appreciate your dedicated viewership. Thank you very, very much. And also to the people that I have subscribed. Yes, I can speak. The people that I subscribe to and watch their videos, pretty much all of them in the description down below in my favorite YouTube channels. I enjoy you guys' content as well, and my friends, my good close friends, and less than close friends, my secondary friendship bubble, as it were, of YouTube, fellow YouTubers. You guys know who you are. Thank you so much for another year of friendship, or a first year of friendship if you are among the newcomers. You guys are kind of help keep me going. If it weren't for you, all of you guys, I might not be here right now doing YouTube. I mean, I would still, be here, just not. I would be here, just not here, is what I'm trying to say. So thank you guys all, and Happy New Year to every single one of you out there, and everybody who's watching. Happy New Year. Here's to 2022 being better than 2021 or 2020. Let's make a concerted effort to make it so. Number one. Anyway, on to the it's a Star Trek joke. See, I'm primed for starting my Star Trek and geekery channel. Come on, that's like my second love in my life other than music. So it's like, yeah, why don't I do that? But anyway, on to the other half of my video, the stuff that I found. Now, remember that binder haul that I did, that I found back in, what was it, November? Those 2 big CD binders full of discs that had few, if any, inserts in them. Well, I was over at House of Records last week. Was it last week or was it the week before? And, well, there was another pile of CDs. These were not in binders. and they weren't as many CDs as the binder haul. But hey, I couldn't help myself. I grabbed a box and a bag, I think, and just shoved them all into those containers and brought them back. Brought them home, and I triaged them. For those of you in the medical profession, you might appreciate that comparison. Found out which ones. Some of the CDs were in cases with inserts. Some of them were in cases without inserts. Some of the cases had inserts but no CDs. Some of the cases had CDs but no inserts. And some of them were just all completely loose. So it was a free-for-all in that pile of stuff. And the CDs overall, on average, were not in nearly as good condition as the ones in the binder haul. But still, I found some pretty good things. Hang on, I got a little whatchamacallit in my eye. There we go. And yeah, I just thought I would show you a handful of these. Now I'm going to go through them pretty quickly, but I'm going to show you 30 CDs, but there were quite a few more than that. Many of them there were at least 45, 50 CDs in there. Pretty much everything I'm not going to show you was in too crappy a condition. The discs were way too scratched up to even bother with saving. But I think I have a craft idea. I think I'm going to get some little cork discs, 4-inch diameter cork discs, and make drink coasters out of these. So, I mean, you can see these. This one is actually one of the less egregious examples, but I don't know if you can see, but yeah, the discs are just absolutely scratched up. I seriously doubt they would play without skipping. So yeah, but yeah, maybe give those to friends or something, just as silly little no reason gifts, maybe. Yeah. Hey, maybe Noah can expect us to get some drink coasters in the mail. I don't know. Anyway, this first half of what I'm going to show you here are the ones that looked pretty much good enough to go ahead and keep and give away to other people. These are discs that either I already have. Well, actually, I don't think any of them are ones that I'm not interested in. It's just they're ones that I already have either in this exact format, or I have the music in other albums or other configurations. But yeah, you're going to be surprised at the stuff that I found for free. We got Asia's self-titled album here, and Mariah Carey's Emotions. This is actually one of the few that was pretty much spotless. I mean, this could be sold in the store. It's just it was there in just with the inserts, not in a case. So that's probably why the store didn't bother to take it. But yeah, excellent condition. Anybody out there want Emotions by Mariah Carey? Hey, I could maybe mail some of these to you if anybody wants any. And The Bang Masters by Van Morrison, some of his early hits. This compilation was released on the Sony label. I already have that. Actually, it was in my sister's collection, so that's the reason I don't need that one. Norah Jones, Come Away With Me. This one was in one of the more scratched up CDs, but I think it'll play. I'm not sure. And then a bunch of greatest hits stuff that I have. Most of these I have on their individual albums that I care to have, or other versions of greatest hits. We got John Mellencamp. We got your Sheryl Crow. We got your Toto, Bonnie Raitt, Journey, James Taylor. I mean, yes, this stuff was all free. Can you believe it? Springsteen. And Bryan Adams, one of his hits collections. And then a few more miscellaneous ones. Jewel, her album Pieces of You. It's good stuff. I already have that one. And a pair of Don Henley CDs I already have. Building the Perfect Beast and The End of the Innocents. So, yeah, it was amazing what was in there. And this next stack are the ones that I'm going to keep. Oh, actually, I've got the PDF window sitting in front of me, and I don't need it anymore, so I had the screen completely covered up, and so I wasn't able to watch and see if the CDs were in frame. So I was just, yeah. Anyway, you guys probably don't care about that, do you? Anyway, the stuff that I am going to keep and listen to maybe and see if I like it or not. We've got the Honeymoon in Vegas soundtrack. I have never seen the movie, but apparently this is covers of Elvis songs by contemporary for the time artists. Billy Joel does All Shook Up. Amy Grant sings Love Me Tender. Oh, I bet that one's going to be good. Oh, and Billy Joel's on here twice. Heartbreak Hotel. Jailhouse Rock by John Mellencamp. Heartbreak Hotel is one of my favorite Elvis songs, and Billy Joel is one of my favorite 80s artists. So this one's going to be good. But yeah, Trisha Yearwood, Jeff Beck, Vince Gill, Willie Nelson sings Blue Hawaii. So yeah, I've never seen the movie, so I have no idea what the movie's about or anything. So, and we have No Fences by Garth Brooks. This one's a little bit scratched up, but I have never listened to an actual Garth Brooks album, so it could be interesting. And then Paula Abdul with her album Spellbound, and this is another one that was in nearly perfect condition. Then we have a hits collection by Pat Benatar. Best Shots is the name of it. And I have 2 or 3 of her studio albums, so I pretty much have all of the hit singles that I care about, but I may just go ahead and keep this one just for the heck of it, because it was free. I mean, come on. Then we have Al Jarreau with his album Heaven on Earth, and I believe I may have had this one at some point and listened to it, and I don't remember what I thought of it, or what it was like. I got rid of it, so I guess I wasn't crazy about it at the time, but listen to it again. And Freddie Jackson, I have never bothered checking out Freddie Jackson before, but this is his album Time for Love. Then we have Enrique Iglesias with his album 7. I just picked up his Enrique album. Was it in Portland? I can't remember where it was, but yeah. So I check out another Enrique album. Then we have Joyride by Roxette. And Roxette is another artist that I have never really bothered to check out. There are just so many artists and albums out there. How can you have time to listen to them all? If you have no job and absolutely nothing to do, and you don't sleep, I suppose you could listen to them all. But anyway, then we have, this is actually an artist that I have several albums, 3 or 4 albums by already, and this is one that I didn't have, so this was a very welcome pickup. Jonathan Brooke and her band The Story with the album Plum. And I believe this one predates all of the other albums of hers that I have. So, and then Toni Braxton's self-titled album. I was kind of hoping to get my hands on that one at some point. And then we have Michael Bolton with his album The One Thing. Michael Bolton's one of my not-so-guilty pleasures. Cheesy, yes, and the songs are kind of sappy, but the guy has a heck of a voice. I mean, come on. He can belt out songs like nobody's business, seriously. So, and then we have a greatest hits collection by Ronnie Milsap. I kind of discovered the charms of Ronnie Milsap thanks to the cassette collection from Sue, and so why not check out a greatest hits selection of his? And then a couple of twofers, two albums by artists. Well, first we have Reba McEntire with her albums Rumor Has It and For My Broken Heart. And now this jewel cases on these look really nice and shiny. That's because I transplanted them into new jewel cases. Well, some of them didn't even have jewel cases to begin with. So that's why I always like to keep a nice big stash of empty CD cases on hand. And then the last 2 I'm going to show you are a pair of CDs by Natalie Cole. This one is Stardust. This was kind of her follow-up to her album Unforgettable. It's got a bunch of Great American Songbook standards in it again. And does this one... Yes, she does another duet with her late father, Nat King Cole, When I Fall in Love, on here. And then another album of, it's got some covers in it. It might be another one of her Greatest American Songbook things, but her album, Take a Look. So there you go. And that was only most of the CDs. There were other ones. They were, as I said, a little too crappy to save, but still quite a haul, wouldn't you say? I cannot believe the freaking luck that I have had with CD hauls, freebie hauls lately. I mean, my binder haul was full of stuff that probably nobody else cares about. New age and easy listening and stuff like that. But for me, it's been a bit nostalgic for me. Anyway, the other part of this was while I was actually boxing up these discs over at House of Records, Greg, the manager, comes up to me and says, "Hey, Tom, you want a CD rack we have?" I thought, well, then let's go ahead and take a look at it, shall we? So he led me into the back room, which is usually for employees only. So boy, did I feel special. And he showed me this rack, and I'm going to show it to you. So let me get a drink first. I'm going to have to stand back here to show it to you because kind of big, big-ish, but it's really cool. I'm going to show you. It is in 4 sections. See, it is 36, 38 inches tall, and they're all hinged. So yes, each of these is hinged, so you can fold it up with the CDs inside, so that it forms a 14-inch by 14-inch pillar. So yes, it's about 36 inches tall, I think it is. Or you can fold it so it so the discs are facing outwards on 2 sides. So, and yes, it did come with shelves, but it only came with about half the shelves that were originally with it, and the pegs, the shelves rest on those little metal pegs, and the pegs were some of the pegs were missing, and the peg holes were, several of them were torn, kind of worn open, so the pegs were at an angle, so they weren't holding the shelves steadily. But my brother, I was going to move it back out of the way, but I can just leave it there in the background. But my brother is very handy with woodworking and all that kind of stuff, so we're going to repaint it because I don't like black because it makes it's too dark. I like lighter colors, so probably going to paint it close to white, something like that. It'd be more trouble than it's worth to strip it and stain it to match the oak cabinets in my room. I just think it would be probably not worth the trouble for the condition. It's got a lot of dings and dents on it and stuff. Yeah, and he's going to cut shelves and just fix them into place because this thing is only going to hold CDs, so the shelves don't need to be adjustable. So, and yeah. So, and I'm probably just going to leave it in. The beauty about this thing, though, is it's in 4 sections, so I could have 2 sections, 2 sections of 2 wide, or I could take 2 of them, stack them up here, and make one, 6-foot tall double wide thing, or I could even conceivably have all 4 of them separately and literally put this thing in every corner of my room, a piece of it in every corner of my room. So the possibilities are endless with how this thing can be configured and set up and stuff. So I have basically had a tape measure in my hand for the last day and a half, racking my brain, figuring out where can I put this thing, because as I've mentioned before, real estate in my room is very limited. So, but yeah, one way or another, I'm putting this thing to use. I mean, how can you not, especially when it is free? Yes, this thing was free. I don't know what I did or who I did it to deserve some of the stuff that has come my way lately. I mean, it's, started back in November of 2020 with that freaking cassette deck. Actually, no, August of 2020 with the vintage realistic turntable that I got. So I don't mean to rub in the ridiculous, uncalled for good fortune that I've had lately. But anyway, so yeah, that is the haul that I have, and I will see if I can share pictures with you when I eventually get it set up and where I want it and how I want it and all that stuff. And oh, that's something else that I was going to mention in my state of the channel thing. I'm thinking about, I can always have the option of, if I get the, oh, thank you, Noah. You're sweet. Don't make me cry live on camera. And where was I? You distracted me. How dare you? What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. With regard to my channel, if I ever do get to missing the editing stuff, the editing aspect of videos, I can always have the option of recording stuff on my camera with my webcam and then editing it later. I would probably keep the flow of it as a live stream goes. So, the editing, the cutting out the missteps and stuff would be minimal. It would just have the opportunity of putting pictures, overlaying pictures and the little numbers and words and stuff and silly comments and all that stuff. And of course, if I want to cut out the bloopers and put those in a separate reel, then there you go, in a separate section of the video. So anyway, Yeah, and not to mention, I've also seen in one or two of my videos, at least one that I noticed, a bit of the right in the middle of the video got lost, and it was because of a signal, a signal dropout or something, cut out, like 10, 15 seconds of a video at one point or another. Only once do I know that it's happened. It's probably happened a few times. So that would be another advantage to pre-recording my videos. They would go up without any, the signal dropouts and loss of sections in the middle of the video, unless I wanted that to happen. So that's another advantage possibly to pre-recording videos and uploading them, which I may do from time to time going forward. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Any questions at the last minute before I do my obligatory sign-off? Can you believe that CD haul? It's just, I've always wanted to check out Reba McEntire's older stuff, because I really discovered her. I've always known that she was around, but I didn't really discover her and even think about checking out her music until her sitcom Reba was on back in the 2000s, or was it the 90s? Anyway, and the title song from Reba was fun, and so that's when I picked up the first greatest hits collection of hers. It was the 2-disc one, the number ones, which had that song on it. And so I've just kind of slowly checked out her stuff. Her most recent, no, I don't think it's her most recent album anymore, but and I don't remember what the name of it was, but it was out in 2019. That was an excellent, excellent album. It was one that I should have had in my albums of that year list. Fantastic. Except I can't remember its name right now. But yeah. And Toni Braxton. And actually, was it the same day or like the day after I found the self-titled Toni Braxton album in there? I was at House of Records again, because I go there a lot. In the $1 CD section down below, they had her sophomore album. And so I went ahead and picked that up, even though I haven't listened to her debut album yet. I'm a compulsive CD buyer and CD bringer homer, I've noticed. So anyway, are there ones that I wanted to comment about? Not really. But yeah, I'm looking forward to listening to that Honeymoon in Vegas, because, yeah. Billy Joel singing Elvis songs could be interesting. Anyway, yeah, Reba was amazing. So, anyway, yes, here's to a good 2022, knock on wood. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Should I sign off, or should I just still sit here and just stare at the camera? I don't know. I think I will go ahead and sign off, since I've already gone a half an hour. And hey, you guys got extra Tom last weekend, a double dose of Tom. I don't think it's possible to overdose on Tom. Well, maybe it is. Yeah, it probably is. Anyway, that'll do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, hit that like button and share it with your friends. And give me your thoughts, questions, suggestions, or constructive criticisms in the comments section below. Also, scroll down to the description for the links to my Twitter and Instagram feeds, and links to my favorite fellow YouTubers who are all worth checking out down in the description. I pointed down there when I was supposed to do some other gesture. Anyway, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and browse my past videos, and be sure to ring that notifications bell so you'll be the first to know each time I drop a new video or I go live. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next weekend, hopefully, and remember, life's too short to be a music snob.